Hi, I'm Trish, and welcome to Beanbag Hagwag. I am doing Lennon Smith's tag today called hashtag Why Witchcraft. Um, I did her tag Why Spirituality a couple of months ago, and I thought I would just round it out with this one. So there's 13 questions, and of course, I will leave the link to the original tag video in the description box. If you don't know who Lennon is, please go check her out. You won't be disappointed. She loves to share her head noise, and her head noise is always something to be listened to. Um, and I've only seen a few people do this tag so far, but I really haven't dove in to watch a bunch of them yet. I'm sure there's more. Um, I'm a busy witch, so I don't have a lot of time to watch YouTube all the time. But let's just get started. So the first question is, when was your first encounter with the word witch? All right, so I'm going to be 60 this year, and I really don't remember my first encounter with the word witch. I would imagine it was okay, I'm just going to say probably The Wizard of Oz because I've been watching that since I was a little kid. I probably saw that for the first time when I was 5 or 6 years old. Scared the F out of me, but loved Glenda. I dressed up like Glenda a couple years ago for my Halloween bash. What is your first what was your first witchcraft path? I've been on an occult path for 20 some years, but my first witchcraft path was probably Wicca. I wasn't practicing Wicca for very long, but that was the first time I actually started calling myself a witch, perhaps. And that was, quite some time ago. Number 3, what is your first magical working? Um, that's also hard to say. I didn't write things down back then. I do now. I find it important to write things down because when you're asked a question like this, if you don't write it down, you don't have the answer. I remember all of us neighborhood kids when I was growing up would get together. And there were probably 6 of us on our block, and we played together every single day. Us kids would get together and do a seance. And I would imagine that to be my first magical working. And it freaked us out. It totally freaked us out, but it was fun. And my brother had a Ouija board. I really didn't know what all that meant back then. Number 4, what is the most important tool in your craft? And I'm sure she probably means physical tool. And if I was to answer that, I'd probably say my cauldron. But the most important tool is my brain. I can, that's where my spells start. That's where witchcraft begins in my brain. I don't even have to speak the words. I can feel it and I can think it, and I don't need anything to go along with it. And my lights. Hang on. I got to make sure they're plugged in all the way. Okay, we'll see if that works. My house is so old, and the electric in my house is not the greatest. So where was I? The most important tool in your craft. Yeah, that would be my my brain, because that's where it all starts. I can write the spell in my brain, I can think the spell in my brain, and I don't even have to do anything except have it in there. But the rest of it's so fun, so I choose to do the artsy part of spell work because to me, spell work should be beautiful. Number 5. What is your witchy aesthetic? Oh my gosh. Okay, so I guess, well, the first thing I'll say is eclectic because I have a mishmash of so many different styles and things in my house. My witchy aesthetic. Hippie, neighborhood, housewife, witch. It's got a real 70s hippie vibe. Me and my husband, I mean, we're old, so everything we have is old. Yeah, that's what I'll say. But you know what? My house is so comfortable. And I've actually had people tell me what a great vibe the house has. One of my husband's friends came over one time, and before he left, he said, "Everywhere I go in this house, it feels good." What kind of compliment is that? That's the most awesome kind of compliment. So I guess I don't know what my aesthetic is. Do I have an aesthetic? Yeah. I would love to have like a room. You see those beautiful rooms on Instagram, those real goth and real witchy rooms. My house is very witchy. Don't get me wrong. I don't hide who I am or what I am from anybody. If you come in my house, you're going to know right off the bat that it's a little witchy in here. But yeah, I guess I don't know. Yeah, we'll just go with the hippie vibe, I guess, because that's what it is. Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. What is your favorite witchy hobby or activity? I love making spell. I love creating spell work. I love the beautiful, beautiful parts of it. I love collecting my herbs and dressing my candles. I love doing spell work, so that is probably my favorite activity as a witch. One thing I do every year is get together with my other witchy girlfriend and we make hag torches. And that is always fun. So, yeah, I love creating the tools for witchcraft, the tools for spell work. That's really fun for me. What is your favorite witchy animal? I don't know. Is there a witchy animal? I really don't know. I connect very deeply with geese because geese are an animal that hold a favors. So yeah, I'm just gonna say geese because I don't think animals are necessarily witchy. I don't have I don't have a familiar animal, and like I don't think physical animals are necessarily familiars. I guess I think familiars are in the spirit realm, but whatever. I'm just going to go with geese. And birds in general. I love birds. Let's see. What is your most memorable magical working? It was one that was unintended, and it was a long time ago. I think it was back in, gosh, when did this happen? 2009, maybe? I can't remember what year it was, but I had I had an accident, and I wasn't able to walk very well for a really long time. I think I was out of work for 4 months. I had to wear one of those clunky old boots around. And it was towards the end of my, what would you call it? It was towards the end of my healing process, I guess, is what I could say. It was springtime. I was out, it was in April. It was in April. I was outside just kind of enjoying the sunshine. It was a long winter, so I was outside enjoying the sunshine, enjoying the feeling of the breeze on my face. And I hobbled down the steps because I was still in boots. And I hobbled down the steps and cleaned up the yard a little bit, just puttered around. And I was exhausted. I probably was out there for 15 minutes and came back up my stairs, turned around and saw one of those. I know I've mentioned this before in other videos. I turned around and I saw one of those nasty plastic grocery bags in my garden. I thought, fuck, how did I miss that when I was down there? And I was so exhausted. There was no way I was going to hobble down them steps again, but I wanted that bag so badly. And so this is how I feel my brain is the most powerful tool, because I did not utter a word. I just wanted that bag so bad to be out of my garden. And all of the sudden, a breeze picked up that bag in my garden, which was probably 20 feet away from me. And the breeze carried that bag so that all I had to do was reach out and grab it. From then on, I knew that I had power. I had power, and I never turned my back on witchcraft ever again. That was the coolest thing ever. Let's see. It's number 9. What is your most unpopular opinion? I have many. It's hard to choose just one. I have a brand of heathenry unlike any others. We all have opinions about what the divine is. We all have opinions about the gods and how it came to be. We all have our own experiences with the divine or the universe that feel real to us. I am a soft polytheist, very soft. I work with a chosen divine being because I choose to. I feel that the gods and goddesses are facets of a bigger something. I'm not the only one who feels this way. There are others who are polytheist and believe that all the gods stand on their own. Christians believe there is only one true God. There are atheists, animists, agnostics. We all think we have it right. We all think we know what the truth is. But here's the deal. We may all be wrong. There's no proof of any of it. It could feel real, and it could just be in our heads. We do not know. All we know is what our personal experiences are. All we know is what works for us, what is real to us. So the next time you tell someone, for example, you shouldn't work with that God in that way, or they don't like this kind of offering, or you can't work with 2 different gods at the same time. You shouldn't worship the God, or that God doesn't like that kind of thing. This is how you should do it. Just stop. We have authors and teachers who tell us how something should be done. People who feel that their way is the way. just stop. None of it is truth. It's their own personal truth, but not the truth. We cannot say someone is doing something right or wrong. You don't have proof that somebody is doing something right or wrong. You don't have proof that you're doing what's right. I've had experiences with witches who think they know how something should be done. And I've actually been ridiculed by someone who thinks that I've done things the wrong way. Nobody, including me, including all of you, know what the truth is about any of it. All we know is our personal experience and our own personal truth. And that could be different from somebody else's own personal truth. We could all be wrong. That's an unpopular opinion, but it's mine, and it is what it is. Number 10. What is the color of magic? I think that magic is like glitter. Not a particular color, but iridescent. Iridescent like a rainbow moonstone or an opal. Iridescent I actually have glitter that is iridescent. That's the color of magic to me. What was the hardest lesson your witchcraft has taught you? That's an easy one for me. My hardest lesson was learning that how you word things in spell work is important. No. My hardest lesson was that how I word things in my spell work is important. Back in number 8, when I was telling you about my most memorable magical working, all of that came to be because I worded something in a spell that should have been worded differently. Well, I'll just tell you. I was feeling unappreciated by the people I lived with, by my husband, by my son. I was feeling unappreciated. Might not have been, but I was feeling that way. So I did a spell that would make them appreciate me better. And I wound up breaking bones. So they did appreciate me because they had to do all of the housework that I was normally doing. I mean, cleaning the toilets, going to the grocery store. All of the housework had to be done by them and not me. And I'm telling you, they do appreciate me, but it wasn't a fun experience to break bones to make that happen. Number 12, what is your witchcraft's ultimate purpose? I choose witchcraft because it gives me control of my own life. Number 13, last one. What is one big goal of your witchcraft? Just to keep learning and to keep growing and to never stop learning and growing. Until the day that I die, I want to be on a spiritual journey with no end. Okay, so that is the 13 questions and my answers to it. And I'm looking forward to seeing other videos for this tag and getting to know some of you. So Strive to be happy. Hi, I'm Trish, and welcome to Beanbag Hagwag. I wanted to do a tag video that Lennon Smith created. I did her last tag video, which was Why Spirituality. Wow. This is really bad lighting, just like at work. Really, I'm not tired.